Okay, welcome into day 3 of boot camp. My name is Monica Perry. I'm your Market Center Tech Trainer in Winston-Salem, Greensboro, Chapel Hill, and now Durham. And I'm excited that you guys are here with us today, whether you're here with us live or going to watch us on YouTube later. Today, we are going to be talking about all things consumer facing, including our agent website and the mobile search app. So as always, I do have resources. I will drop those into the chat as well as put them in the description box of the YouTube video. I'm going to drop this in, and we're still growing these resources each month. I started doing them about 3 months ago. But essentially what we're going to look at today is our agent website. So I'll go ahead and pull mine up so that it can be seen. These websites, I always like to be transparent. They are not built for heavy duty search engine optimization. So if you're into SEO, this is not that. And you're welcome to have external websites. Lots of agents use both sites. Lots of agents have an external website that they link to this website for the lead capture functionality of the site. There's not a wrong answer. It's just how you want to use it. These will get more customization. They are still in, I would say, kind of second iteration where they lie now. But for right now, you have 5 background images that you can change out. You can change your verbiage here on the front page. But the most important thing about any real estate agent's website is the ability to search for property, which we very clearly have right here front and center on our website. So when these websites were built, KWRI actually got a consumer focus group and asked them what they wanted out of a real estate website. And of course, unanimously, it was good search functionality. So that is what's front and center. Looks very similar to websites that rhyme with pillow, where you have that search box right there front and center on the home screen. Now, I have a lot of agents that say, I want my website to feature me. I want it to look like me. I want my face. And I get it because I'm a real estate agent too. And I get that that's what we want our websites to do. So you do have a few options. And I always like to pull up Miss Greta Fry and Associates. She does have an external website. And they also use their KW website as well. And so what they did with theirs is in lieu of 5 rotating background images, they just put a picture of their team, just one image, and it just sits there so that they have their faces front and center on the website. But otherwise, not a ton of customization ability yet. This is not GoDaddy. This is not Wix type websites where you can add a ton of stuff. But you do have some customization options. And then you have the ability to add pages. So as this website was set up by Scott Loray Marketing for us in a generic sense, it will have an About Me page already set up for most agents. If you did not provide a biography to Scott Loray Marketing, you're not going to see one here. You're going to see just why work with the Keller Williams agent little paragraph here, which is lovely as well. And when you get ready and you have your biography written, we can actually add that to the website. So you will see it just like me. And then you will have a page that looks like this. Again, it will have some generic text here that just talks about KW. You have the ability to come in and customize it, as I have done with mine. Since I am a Market Center Tech Trainer, I chose to title my page, What is an MCTT? Explain what that is. And then I talked about the fact that I am still a licensed real estate agent and I can help my clients of the past, present, and future buy, sell, and invest in real estate by referring them to an agent. So you do have customization of this page as well, but it should already be set up for you. And last but not least, Scott's team will have set up the download the KW app page. So this button will take folks over to your KW app download page. You will see your picture here on the left-hand side, and it has a little feature of what the app looks like, where they can download on the App Store or Google Play. They can sign up with your website from this page, and they get a nice little video about what the app does. So I'll play a little bit of this. It's kind of long, so we're not going to go all the way through it, but I'll play a minute or two of it. Go ahead and make sure my share sound is on. So you get the gist. Nice, robust little app there for our folks to search with. So those are the 3 pages that will have already been set up for you by Scott Lorway's team. Then we do have the ability, as you can see on my page, to add additional pages. One of those is a spot for a person to leave you a review. So it can look like this. It's pretty simple to add this page. This is one of the pages we will look at adding today. And once somebody puts this review in, there is a second page that previews and shows people what people have said about you. So you can display up to 12 testimonials at one time on your page. So what I personally do is on Fridays at about 2 o'clock, I have an alarm set. And I go in and I check to see if I've got any new reviews. I swap them out so it always stays fresh. Hopefully we'll get the ability to do more than 12 at one time when we get the new updated version of this website. But for right now, I do like to keep it fresh and switch it out. Another point to take in about testimonials. If you get testimonials from outside sources, Zillow, Facebook, Google, all of those places, and you want like a really stellar review to be highlighted here on your webpage, you just come to your own testimonial capture page and copy that information over. Put the client's first name and last name. It doesn't show up. The last name doesn't show up. Put their address in. Again, it just shows the city and when they became your client. How many stars did they give you on the external site? And then paste that review right into the box and submit it yourself if you want to be able to feature it on this website. And so I do that as well. I always like to show people we have the ability to add third-party websites. It's a little higher level of doing something. So if you guys do want to know how to do this, feel free to schedule a one-on-one with me. But I do have, where is it? Bear with me. I have one agent that did that. I think it's under here. Bob, love him. He's out of Mooresville. And Bob used an outside source called, I always forget what it's called. Bear with me. Real Satisfied. And so Real Satisfied is a company that takes your reviews from all over, all the different places. It feeds it into one spot. And so what Bob did is he added that third party page to his agent site so that he didn't have to enter them or have his people enter them anywhere specifically. It just brings them all in. So that is an option that I can show you guys. Real Satisfied does cost money. I want to say it is $60 a year-ish, somewhere in there. verified by Real Satisfied shows up down in the lower right-hand corner. So this is also an option for displaying your testimonials on your agent site. But you can pretty much embed any other third-party site into your web page, like my appointment calendar. I just did this as an example. You can see the same appointment calendar you guys use to schedule with me. I have embedded on this website, and I do not have access to Triangle MLS. So if you're watching us from the Chapel Hill or Durham market centers, I'm not sure if you guys have the ability to do that. We're working on getting me access to Triangle MLS. I do know if you're part of Triad MLS that we do have access to Cloud CMA. If you have access to Cloud CMA, we do have the ability to add a What's My Home Worth page to our agent website, like I did here. So if that's ever something, Greensboro, Winston-Salem, that you would like to see done, please feel free to schedule a one-on-one with me and we can walk through that and get it set up for you. I do have a feeling we will get a What's My Home Worth page added to our websites in the near future, but this is my current solution for that. So a little bit of functionality to add some things in. We can also feature listings. So if you have your own listings and you wanted to call them Jordan's featured properties, then you could put your own listings there. Or if you are a new agent that does not yet have listings, talk to the folks in your market center that have listings in areas that you're trying to target and ask them if you can feature their properties on your agent website. More than likely, they're going to say that that is just fine. So then scrolling down, we have an interested Let's Talk feature. For lead capture, we have our legal footer that's got our company name, company logo, license number of the company, all of that fun stuff, as well as our socials. And I showed you guys this on Monday. This is all powered from our settings marketing profile. So I'm going to revisit that one time to make sure that everybody knows where it is, because it's super important. So when we're in command, we're going to click in the upper right corner and go to settings. And once we are in settings, we're going to come over to the left-hand side and go to connect settings and then marketing profile. So this is where we upload our headshot, a team logo if we have one, or it doesn't have to be a team logo. If we just built a logo for our brand, like I did, then you can put it right there. Your details, your slogan, designations and credentials, military affiliation we talked about, your biography, you can drop in here. Make sure that you have all your relevant contact information, brokerage information, and then we have the ability to add legal footer text, some links, and some pictures. These show up really tiny at the bottom, but I still like to feature my vendors, at least where I can, my social links. And if you're into using Google Analytics, you do have the ability to put your Google Analytics tracking ID in at the bottom. So this is all the information that powers what shows up on these websites, as far as our contact information, headshot, that kind of stuff. So that is one place where we can make edits to the information that shows up. The other is consumer. So again, if we forget what these apps are called, white KW, red background, it will pop out those names. Consumer, this is a little icon for our consumer website. And once we get in here, you're going to see a list of active and inactive pages for my website that I've built over the years that I've had it. Anything that has the teal eye is turned on and viewable. Anything that's got a gray eye is not active. So these are just different pages I've built as we've been working on sites. We get to see our configured agent site web address up here at the top. Point of note, no www. We do not use www in anything KW. www is going away. So please, if you're going to put this site on your business cards, your email address, email signatures, do not put www in front of it. We do not use it. It can just be monicaperry.kw.com. So I always like to point that out. So that's where we default, is to our agent site pages. Our next tab is our landing pages. So these are standalone landing pages that we can build for a variety of reasons. I most often use them for specific listings. So I'll just click on this one. So you could have a standalone web page for one of your listings that just got listed. You could share this with your clients and say, just wanted to let you know, I built you a website. That usually excites our sellers. We can then take this and share it. Lynn Mustin of my Winston-Salem office is really good with making these and putting these out into the world on Facebook. That way, if somebody fills out this interested Let's Talk form, it will actually capture them as a lead and drop them into your command, and they will show up as a new lead on your command dashboard. So I like these little standalone pages as well. Next up, Guide Builder. So let's talk about the Guide Builder a little bit. I'm going to go back to my web page. Since I am logged in as a client, you can see I'm logged in as my trusty Dakota James Perry. I can click on the Guide button. And this has a buying and a selling guide. So the whole point of this guide, this is on the website and the app, is for our clients to be able to have answers to questions that may haunt them at 11:30 at night. What are my next steps, right? Whatever those questions may be. So this already came built for you. However, remember, it was built for the entire country, not us specifically. So as all of my market centers are here in North Carolina, we have something called due diligence. And in the original guides, it just showed up as home inspection. And I was like, well, that doesn't really depict what I need it to depict here in this state. I really need to talk about due diligence, what it is, what it means, everything that could get done during due diligence. I feel that is my fiduciary duty to my clients to share that information. So you can see in my guide, it might look a little bit different than yours, and that is because I customized mine. So where it originally said start searching for homes, when I'm showing property, I don't show people homes unless I know that they're pre-approved. So I moved that step further down and said, let's get pre-approved first, because I want to do that before we go look at houses. So when I click on get pre-approved, I gave my local lenders, because I love my local lenders, so I like to give them a little shout out. The original step in this guide was just for Keller Mortgage, which I also like Keller Mortgage. They saved me $800 a month. That's pretty sweet, and I like that a lot. So I kept them here, but I also added in my local vendors. Okay. Then I kept my Start My Home search where it was further down, went into touring homes. I didn't make a ton of edits on either of these. Included making the offer, executing the contract, and then I changed mine that said home inspection to say due diligence period, because that's very important here in North Carolina. I added lots of information about the due diligence period, what it means, what we can do, talking about due diligence money, that it's non-refundable. And I went through all of these different pieces of due diligence, and I did retain some of the information from KW's original home inspection card. But on through to home insurance, home warranty, and closing is there. We also have a seller's guide. So I did customize this as well. Lots of people are like, how did you customize it? Well, that's a great question. And here on your Bootcamp Day 3 resources, I gave you guys my Google Docs that I used, because as I show you how to edit these guides, you're going to see that it's a little tiny box to add a whole lot of text, and I'm not good at doing that. I need to see it laid out. So back in Command, I'm going to open up my buying guide. So again, I'm in Command under Consumer, under the Guide Builder, and I've clicked on the Buying Guide. It's got an introduction. Congratulations on starting the process of buying your home. You can edit that if you want it to sound a little bit different. And then under the guide section, watch what happens when I click on a card. This tiny little box that says workspace text is where we have the ability to type, and I can't type in that. So what I did is I used a Google document that looks like this. I essentially copied everything that KW had already given us, and then I added my edits, and then I put it into the order that I wanted. I did add this card called Get Pre-Approved. I added a whole new step, which we have the ability to do because I thought it was important to feature my local vendors. Then I kept Keller Mortgage, but I moved it, right? Originally, this was the second step in the guide. So I took notes on everything that I was doing. I tried to make some of the stuff red to draw your attention to it. So if you want to use my guides, feel free to do so. And again, copy and paste into its spot, just like we talked about with the checklist yesterday and opportunities. So it is all there for you if you want to do that, as well as directions in case you forget what we talked about. It's right here, and it shows you exactly how to customize your consumer guide. And then you have my guide links there as well. Okay, so we'll move out of guides and into collections. So as I'm logged in as Dakota, let me just go back to my home screen, right? I'm logged in as a consumer. I highly recommend that you make yourselves a login as a consumer, whether you use your own name and email, which is fine, whether you set up a fake email like I did for my dog so that I could interact with everything as a consumer would. Whatever trips your trigger, just make yourself some kind of a login as a consumer. So go directly to your website. You're going to come up here. I'm going to sign out so that you can see it happen in real time. So come to your own website and click sign up. And again, choose how do you want it to roll? Do you want it to be yourself? Do you want it to be, your cousin, whatever, and sign up for your website. Once you sign up, if that person, yourself or your fake person, does not exist in Command, it will give you a lead. So I'm just going to say, let me think of somebody's name that I haven't used. I'm going to use Bianca Buyer. Bianca Buyer at gmail.com. Oops, yeah. So this is actually first and last name. I don't know if I have Bianca Buyer in there yet or not. Create yourself a password, accept, and then click sign up. Now, I like to set up accounts for my clients so that they don't have to go through this step. For my actual people that are in my sphere of influence, I want to put my app, put my website in their hands and say, this is your login information. Lead capture, as far as sharing this on Facebook, sharing it in my email signature and hoping somebody clicks on it and signs up themselves, is a little bit different. But when it's people that I actually know, I just want to be able to say, hey, I know that you're looking for homes. I would love for you to be able to use my website for that. Is it okay with you if I go ahead and create you an account? More than likely, they're going to say yes, right? They let us set stuff up for them in the MLS. In order for them to get safe search emails from you, to ask you questions on your website, to ask you questions from within the app, they do need to have an account. So twofold, bringing value by setting it up for them. Second, people are people, and they may or may not remember to set up their account, and then you won't be able to see what they're doing. So we don't want to do that either. So I usually just create them an account with their email address, and I make their cell phone number their password. I let them know what it is, and then I tell them, hey, once you get in there, go ahead and change your password to a password that you're going to remember. This was just for a temporary access, right? So that's usually how I do this. But I'm going to go ahead and quick sign up. I just got a notification. I'll show you guys what it looks like. I had my volume turned down, but nonetheless. Hopefully my cell phone's going to cooperate with me today. And oops, it did cooperate and then I hit the button. There we go. So you'll see on my phone, I did just get a new agent site notification from Bianca Buyer. So that is how that shows up. And then it brings me right into my app. And then I'm going to see that I've got new leads here on my home screen. And I will be able to reach in, call them if they put their phone number in, email them if I would prefer to do that. Whichever way I want to go with that, I will get that notification. I will also get a notification in my command desktop up here in my bell icon. Mine might look a little different than yours, so I apologize for that. And I will be able to click and view the contact from my desktop. You will see that it will, I was in my team account, but you're going to see that it brought them in here. And so this way, Bianca Buyer with her phone number, with her email address has been added in. But there you go. So it shows up nicely there. For us, I had already created Bianca Buyer, so it was an existing contact, but that's okay. You get the point. It does give you that notification, which works really nicely so that you can stay in touch, and you will get an email that says you got a new lead on your agent website. So that's how those work as far as when they come in. And that doesn't matter if you set it up for them or if you posted your website on social media somewhere and they started searching for homes. So that's the next thing we're going to talk about is forced registration. Okay. So also here in our agent website backend, we have this button in the far right corner called Site and App Settings. Let me come in default again so you'll see it over here, Site and App Settings. This is where you can change that text on the home screen of your website, where you can change out those 5 photos, make it 1 photo, add your 5 photos. Just be careful with copyright laws, y'all, and that you own those pictures, and make sure that they are super high resolution, at minimum 1200 by 1200 pixels, so that they look clean and nice there. The standard stock images that are there are lovely as well. I just felt like they didn't really represent Winston-Salem. So if you have some images of your surrounding areas or cities, you can use those there. A little bit lower is registration. I have my website set to where they can look at 2 properties before being asked to create an account. Okay. You could turn it to 0, where they could search, and as soon as they try to click to see the details of a property, it is going to ask them to register for an account on your website. You could set it to 10, or you could have it completely unrestricted, where they can search as much as they want and they don't have to create a website. So it's really up to your business model and how you're going to be using these websites as to what that number is for you. Like I said, when it's my actual sphere of influence, I create the account and I give them that account information. I do also post on Facebook and say, check out these Winston-Salem homes that were recently reduced. So that way, if they click into that link, they can click on one home, look at the details, click on a second, look at the details. When they try to look at a third, it is going to prompt them to create an account. So questions on forced registration? Good. All right, cool. So forced registration, I love. We didn't have it originally, but I'm glad that we do now. So now Bianca Buyer is logged in. She can start looking around. She can look at current locations. She can open listings, look at the images, see the details, right? Scroll through any pictures. She could save it to a favorite, leave a note about it that I will receive. She could ask me a question. She could request to go see it, right? So in person or through a live video, maybe they're out of state and they just want you to go and do a walkthrough with your phone on. So they can request all that different stuff. They can get a quote from Keller Mortgage after confirming that they read this affiliated business arrangement disclosure and click continue. And they can get a quote from Keller Covered, which is our home insurance. Okay. So I'm going to go back to a different listing like this one. Oh, it's a pretty house. I don't want to be on a new construction property. Here we go. So once they're here and looking at this one, they can see property type, days on site, year built, lot size, parking floors, exterior features, and appliances. All of this information is flowing in from the MLS. It is pushed over to HubSpot and then syndicated out to multiple websites when you're using Keller Williams, which is fantastic. And then they have property tax source. Where did it come from? Precisely. The neighborhood for this is Buena Vista. Yes, that is Buena Vista when you live in Winston-Salem and not Buena Vista, even though I know that is how you actually say it. I always like to give that disclaimer that I do actually know how to say Buena Vista. But they can explore the neighborhood, which is one of my favorite features on our website. It's not just about the property itself. They can actually come in and explore the neighborhood. They could follow the neighborhood itself if that's where they're interested in living. What do the locals have to say about the neighborhood? This is like 7 websites in one on these neighborhood web pages, which I love. They get a market snapshot, sold statistics, properties for sale within the neighborhood boundaries that are set by Nextdoor, what locals say a little bit more expanded so they can see more information. Hipster, that cracks me up. They have transit and commute times. So say that they go to St. Leo's, where I went to school when I was a kid. They go to St. Leo's Church and they want to know how far it would be from this neighborhood to their church. Their child goes to Reynolds High School and they want to know how long it would take for them to get from that neighborhood to their child's high school. 5 minutes. And they work at 1100 South Stratford Road in Winston-Salem, and they want to know how long it would take for them to get to work. So they can add up to 3 locations. Maybe it's their cousin's house or the brother's house or whatever. They can add up to 3 locations to see how far it would take them to get from any home or any neighborhood that they're looking at to those 3 locations, which I think is really cool. They can see nearby schools. And my favorite, it's got Yelp built right into the neighborhood websites so they can see what restaurants are nearby, what grocery stores are nearby, all that kind of fun stuff. Nearby neighborhoods that might be of interest to them. And again, they have an interested let's talk at the bottom if you were sharing this, say, on social media somewhere. But I love these little neighborhood landing pages. I think that they're really nice and they're all set up for us. All right, so we looked at restricting what they can see and virtual tours. I get asked about this a lot. Again, Triangle MLS, I'm not sure. I don't have your your access yet to Triangle MLS, but Triad MLS, we have the ability to put virtual tours into our listings. So we don't need to use this button because we've more than likely already put it into the MLS. It will still show up here on the website without us having to take any extra steps. What this is for is somebody who does not have the ability to add a virtual tour, they can upload it here. I always like to bring attention to the preferences. If you are like, I don't want to use Keller Mortgage, you can turn it off of your website. If you feel the same way about Keller Covered, you could turn that off of your website. I personally don't recommend it because if they find out they could have saved more money using Keller Coverage or Keller Mortgage and you didn't give them the information, they might not be super happy with you. But if you don't like it and you want the ability to turn it off, you have that ability. You also have the ability to turn off those neighborhoods boundaries on your website. So I want to show you what those look like. As I scroll back out a little bit, you can see there's no neighborhood boundaries, but we're all about being hyper local, right? So as I tighten up, I start seeing blue lines. Those blue lines are neighborhoods that people that live in the neighborhood have established in Nextdoor. In order to establish a neighborhood in Nextdoor, you have to live in an address that is within that neighborhood. So when you're in the middle of the city, there's a lot of them, right? Which I am. And so you could tighten it a little bit tighter and see that this neighborhood is called Peace Haven. This is Club Haven Estates, South Fork. There's all different kinds of neighborhood boundaries that are in here and set up. Sherwood Forest Road neighborhood, right? Old Sherwood Forest, which is where I am, has its own little neighborhood boundaries, right? So if you're like, I don't like that, you can turn it off so that they can just search without neighborhoods. Okay. But then you're going to lose these neighborhood pages and stuff like that. Questions on that?
Yeah, I have a question.
Uh-huh.
Not specifically on this, but as far as the listings on the agent website, is there a lag from MLS? And if so, do you know how long it is?
It's about 15 minutes.
Okay.
They claim for it to be about 15 minutes. And so those neighborhood searches or those save searches that we can set up for our contacts. Let me go off screen for a sec. So I don't show my email, and I'll put up my test emails account here. So I have Dakota set up to get save searches. So I have them set up on a bunch of save searches, but a lot of them are instant, right? So like here's one that just came in at 10:11 a.m. So there are updates to your save search here. The price just got lowered $10,000. Just listed open house this weekend. So they say it's about 15 minutes from the time the change is made in the MLS, whether that's going live, reducing the price, going under contract, scheduling an open house to the time that an instant save search would be here or it would get reflected on your website.
Okay.
Great question. Cool deal. So the feed, I'm going to go ahead and favorite this house and give it a note. Love this. Wondering if it's fenced. Miss Bianca Buyer can save her stuff here. She could even create multiple lists. She could also add a co-buyer to her account. And then when she comes into her feed, currently she has no saved searches, right? We know that. She just logged in. We just got going. She saved some favorites, which would be under her collections. She's got neighborhood pulses for the neighborhood she's following, right? But she hasn't created any saved searches. So we have the ability to go into her contact card. Okay. And let me grab her contact again. Close down some of this stuff here. We have the ability to see everything she's been doing. She's been leaving notes on things. She's been viewing her collection. She's been looking at different neighborhoods and following those neighborhoods and adding favorites and all that kind of fun stuff. We have a full track of what she's doing in there, which I love. And then we can come over to save searches and create her a save search. So we can create the save search. We looked at this on Monday when we were in contacts, but I wanted to get a little bit deeper. We can do a custom save search by neighborhood, zip code, or a custom drawn area. We could choose to draw on the map. And maybe we know that she really wants to be in this area, and that she's pretty cool with anything in and around there. Then we could draw it and apply, put in her parameters and set up the save search, right? So she wants a pool or a deck or a garden, a condo or a house, how many bedrooms, how many baths, year built, parking, etc. Okay. Maybe she's looking for 4+ and 2+. I'm going to do 3+. And that's, she just wants to look at everything in that area that has that parameter. I can click next. I can say Bianca, West Winston area, whatever you want to call it. I could type. Then I can turn on those email notifications or not. If I don't turn on the email notifications, she just needs to go to your website or the app and she can look in her collections and her saved searches if she doesn't want to get hit with all those emails. We could turn on email frequency of instant, daily, weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly. And then we can go ahead and create that save search. That's a fake email address, so I'm not actually going to send emails, but I will go ahead and create the save search. So there you go. It's right there. So back on, go ahead, Jordan.
Yeah. So if I wanted to set up a save search for my clients that currently have like auto emails through MLS, because I just think this looks nicer, would I need to just make them an account, like you said, with their email and like phone number, let them know, and then they wouldn't start getting those emails until they, or no, they would automatically get them.
It would, if you created it for them, yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yep, absolutely. So I mean, you know, I do get that question like, well, would you use your website or the MLS? It's really up to us, right? I mean, I agree this looks nicer. The MLS is the source. It's always going to be faster because that's where we enter the information, but this is still pretty quick. We can't get as granular with this. So if they're super, you know, I need an in-law suite in the basement and I want to make sure that the backyard, you know, like all these like specific details, we're not there yet on this. But if it's just like, I want to live in 27104, I want 4 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms, show me what's out there. Great. Even if you're doing like pool and a couple of other things, we just can't get quite as detailed as we do with the MLS.
Yeah, I feel like I don't get that detailed on the criteria anyways because of inventory.
Exactly. So, you know, it's whichever one for whoever's watching that you want to go, whichever way you want to go. But now Miss Bianca will have save searches, right? Because we set her up a save search so she can see what's in there. She can see what's new, what's open house, what price change, and what status changed. She can set up her save search. So maybe she wants to look at her current location, or maybe she wants to search 27106 zip code, and she wants to see things that are priced up to 600,000. And that's all she wants. She just wants to be able to see anything in 27106 priced up to 600,000, or maybe she wants to see anything with 4+ bedrooms. You'll see the search change on the left as you narrow down all of those selections. She can save her search and call it T7106, 4+, whatever she wants to call it. And she can choose to get email notifications, never, instant, daily, weekly, whichever she wants. And now she will have 2 saved searches. 27106, this is the one she just set up for herself. And below that is the one that we set up for her. So she's got 2 different sets of searches here. Within command, we can see if it'll load. There we go. She created a save search. I created a save search. So we have that tracking in the timeline of everything that's going on, which is really nice, right? So the most important things, if we're going to be using these websites and putting them in the hands of our consumers, or using the app and putting it in the hands of our consumers, is that we come back in and check KW, check KW command, because if not, you're not going to get all this valuable information. If I have somebody that told me 6 months ago or 3 months ago that they wanted to buy in 6 months, and it's been 3 months and I did set them up on my website and they hadn't really been doing anything, and all of a sudden I see all this start rolling in, I might go, maybe they got their pre-approval, maybe they saved up their down payment, maybe something is prompting them to start looking a little bit more diligently than they have. Why? I need to call them, right? But if we're not coming in here and looking, then we won't know that. So good thing to check back if you are doing that. I'm going to go into my contacts and show you something on the, into command app and show you something on the home screen. So we can see who's been recently active on our website. That's a good thing for us to check. We can go into contacts themselves and go to Smart Views. And I have Smart Views for hold on. I set up too many of these things when I'm recently active. So I went in and set up some filters so I can see people that are recently active on my website. And I don't want to stay in those too long because I don't want YouTube to take my video down. But love that. All right. So let me see what all we've covered. We looked at our marketing profile. Oh yeah, finding your URLs. So that's another one I get. So again, I'm going to start back over. We're in consumer, site and app settings is where we were. There's another tab called URLs. This is your website domain. This is your app code. So if you want somebody, if you want to like text them to download your app and it's branded to you as soon as they log into it, that's the code. So I have that like in my email signature. I have it on my business cards. I have QR codes for it, all the things. If you need to know what your app code is, it's there. But you can also be right here in your command app and click there and click share my app link directly from here. And it's got the code in there. So you've got a couple of ways that you can share your app code there, which is nice. So I always like to bring that up. And then here's that featured listings tab. So this is where those featured listings show up on our website. And I don't have a listing, so I'm going to go into MLS and I will give a shout out to the agent whose listing I feature. I'm going to pick it at random by the listings in our office. The Winston-Salem office, no shade to the other offices. This is just where my license is, so it's what I can see. My office active listings. I'm going to pick something very Monica. So I'm going to organize by the city and find something Winston, like that one. Who's got this lovely listing? Ashley Way Real Estate and Ashley Bonnet. Love it. Beautiful. Right down the street from me. I'm going to borrow your listing and feature it on my website. So I'm going to go select listings. Right now it says only my listings. I don't have listings. If you do, great. Yours are going to show up right there. So I'm going to change this to all listings. If you're a new agent, this is what you would be doing that didn't have listings yet. Okay, there it is. Ashley Way. She's the main listing agent. I'm going to click select and click done. Now I have 2 different listings showing up on my featured. Do a refresh listings on my website. Might take it a second to catch it. We'll come back to it in a second. It might just take it a minute. Oh, wait, that would help. Gotta hit save, Monica. There. So there we go. Right there on my home screen, featured properties. Okay, and we can show up to 12 listings at one time under those featured properties. Okay, so that's featured listings. Theme doesn't do a whole lot yet. Eventually, probably will. Do you like red? Do you like dark? There's only a couple of places where that makes any difference to the look and feel of your website. I have mine set to dark. And then last but not least, and I know this is confusing, and I've already talked about it with the Labs Advisors crew, because we have agent site pages, which is where we default when we come in, but we also have agent site pages under site and app settings. 2 different things. Agent site pages under site and app settings is where we go to take a page off of our website to add a page to our website after we've created it. That is what we do under here. So for instance, I'm going to come here and maybe I don't want to have KW Luxury featured on my website anymore. This is just where I added one of those third-party sites to display on my website. So maybe I don't want this to be there anymore. Then I can come in here, click on KW Luxury, click on the 3 dots, delete the page, click to confirm. It is now gone. Right? But that's what this last tab is. So any questions on that so far? Good. And it just takes some finagling to work through here. And if you don't want to have anything to do with your website and you want help, just let me know. Just let me know. But I like being able to do stuff myself. Okay. So we're going to look at creating a new page. So we're clicking create new page in the upper right corner, and we get 2 options. On my agent site as a standalone landing page. Okay. So I'm going to start with agent site, and we're going to look at the easiest thing to add, which is our testimonials capture page. Testimonials. And it is 11/9. I can't believe it is that far into November. But that I always name it in the upper left corner so I know what it is that I've created. I can choose. Do I want, I'm just going to show all the widgets and then we're going to actually make one. The team widget, if you have a team, looks like that. It will fill in from your agent's marketing profiles. I'm going to click it. I got that little teal box in the upper corner so I can delete it. There's an agent profile widget. It's the one that looks like this. It's got the about me. You should already have that page, so you don't need it. But if you wanted to edit it for something else, you could. You have a contact form. Pretty short, simple, and to the point. It's where people can register. Testimonials carousel. This is where the testimonials will show up, and it will scroll if it's the carousel, versus the list, which is what I have, which is just a list of your 12 that you have showing. You have the company profile widget. This is one that I do like if you wanted to add additional information about your business or additional information about cities or additional information about anything specific. I can use this because I can edit all of this text. I can upload pictures and things like that. Keep in mind, we will be getting more customization. It's just not there quite yet. Testimonials capture form, I'll show last, and then download my app is good to stick at the bottom of something. So you have the widgets there. You also have content blocks below that. So if you wanted to add some different kind of page, you do have the ability to add text in an image. For now, we'll probably get more there soon. But I'm going to go ahead and do the testimonials capture and bring it to the left. Okay, it's grayed out right now because we have not configured the widget. It tells you at the bottom. Once you're happy with the layout, you can tailor your widgets by clicking Configure Widgets in the sidebar. So that's what we're going to do. I am not Royals Realtor. I am Monica Perry. And maybe I call myself Monica Perry Real Estate. Then I can put that as my name at the top. Headline. Leave us a review. Leave me a review. Review Monica, whatever you want it to say. Description. I edited mine because I'm a market center tech trainer and that's what I'm getting reviews for. If you are happy with the way that this looks, you don't have to edit it. Okay. If you're not, feel free to type in whatever you want. Review headline. If you're happy with the way that this looks, you don't need to change it. How would you rate your experience is what it says. Placeholder text. In the review box, it's prompts to give them ideas on what to say. Again, if you're happy with the way it looks, you don't have to change anything. We're going to click Save and Apply. It's going to ungray itself and it's going to show you what it would look like. Okay. So leave us a review. Thanks for being a valued client. How would you rate your experience? Da, 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 da. I'm happy with all of this. I'm just going to leave it like that. I'm going to click Save Changes in the upper right corner, and it's going to ask if you want to go and publish your page right now or not. If you're going to come back and work on it later, just say no. And you'll be able to come in and work on it later and then publish it. But if you are ready to publish it, just say yes. It's going to take you into that second site, Agent Site Pages tab, where we now have the ability to come over to the left and click Add Page. There's the page we just created. We click the bubble. We click Continue. We give it a title. We give it a slug, which is on the back end of kw.com / whatever you want it to say. We can give it search engine optimization descriptions and then click Save. And it will add that page to our website. So that's all the steps for adding a page. There's just a lot of different pages and ways to add pages. Okay. But there you go. There's that new page tab. That's what it would look like once you did it. It would be right there. But again, if you ever need help, just let me know. Awesome. Okay. So that's how you build those pages. And then we're going to take a break, go and look at the app. And then if we have enough time at the end, we will come in and look at building landing pages. All right. So I'm going to do 3 minutes since it's just us. And I'll see you in 3. All right. So let's look at adding a landing page real quick or creating a landing page. And then we'll jump into the app and then we'll kind of be done. So landing pages. We looked at one of those a minute ago. Same steps, create new page, but this time we're going to select a landing page and click create. So like I said, I do love these for the purposes of listings specifically. So I'm just going to use Ashley Lay and Ashley Bonnet's lovely listing as my example. I'm going to show all the widgets first, and then we'll actually lay out a page. So agent branding looks like this. The branded header looks like that. Got a lead form, a legal footer, the listing widget. Looks like this. A market snapshot widget, where we can use a zip code or a neighborhood to display. Your local expert, which looks like that. We have a video widget, so we could upload a video here. If it was like an introductory video, we could pop it in there. We could also do testimonials capture on this one. And we have that download my app widget as well as the content blocks of the image and text. So we have a lot of different functionality on the standalone pages than we do on the agent website pages for now, at least. All right, so here is how I like to build my landing pages, especially that listing widget. I scrolled through it to show how long it was. I don't like having to scroll to try to drop the stuff, so I always build kind of a reverse sandwich. So I know that I'm going to want my branded header at the top, and I know that I'm going to want my legal footer at the bottom. So there's my outsides of my sandwich. Now I'm going to drop whatever I want in between into the middle. So I know I'm going to want a lead form next. Then I know I'm going to want the listing form above that. So it makes it a lot easier than having to scroll through to drop your bottom pieces there. But same steps, we're going to click configure widgets, but this time we have more than one widget to configure. So for my header text, I usually say welcome home. And I have to go in my marketing profile and update my phone number there. There we go. Then I click save and apply, and it will change that to reflect it in the preview. Then I click the forward arrow and I click browse listings. I can search by property address, MLS number, or the agent's KWLS ID, but I've got that address in my clipboard, so I can just search for that and click select. Obviously, this would be for your own listing, or maybe if you were holding an open house, y'all, for somebody else in your market center, you might want to do that. You could choose to feature a different front image than the MLS's front image if you wanted. We can come down and click save and apply on that, and it will change the listing to reflect the listing that we searched. They will be able to see any MLS data that ported over, including a little slideshow, details and features, where it lies on a map. Then we're going to click the forward arrow again. Interested, let's talk. If you want it to say something different, like find out more about this home, then you could change that and click save and apply, and it will change it. And then we go forward one more time. And if there's anything we need to update in the legal footer, then we can, or we can just click save and apply if everything looks fine. And then we can click publish page. Are you sure you want to publish it? Yes. Okay. So it's going to be the landing page that's at the very top. There's the name I gave it. One thing I always like to do is come over to the three dots and click change URL. I take all this gobbledygook off the end, and I usually do like the address, no spaces, because it's part of the website, but I usually just do this so it looks a little bit cleaner, and click create. And now I have this little standalone landing page that I can copy, put it in Facebook, put it in Instagram, put it wherever I want it to be. And when someone clicks on it, it will bring them to it. If they enter their information down here at the bottom, I need to look up some more B names, apparently. I'm just going to make something funny that I know I've never made before. And they put in their phone number. They leave a note of whatever they want to say. And they confirm they're not a robot and they click send. Then again, my phone's in my pocket this time. My phone will ding that I got a new lead. In command, I will have a new lead. Banjo buyer, lead information captured. It created a contact for them. I can call that contact or email that contact and then come in and start building out this contact card a little bit more. It's got the note that he left me. The source was a landing page that I built. And conversely, if I'm looking at my landing pages in this view, I can see that I've grabbed one lead from this particular landing page. So I will show you where Lynn Musson does this. We make a graphic, which we'll look at tomorrow. And there's one of hers that she made for her property in Clemens. So if you don't use an image, it'll show up. The image will show up when you paste it into Facebook. But you also have the ability to make an image if you would prefer to. If you want it to say like open house this Sunday on the image, which it won't say when it's coming from the MLS, you can actually create an image in Designs and then post the image so that it actually says verbiage on top of it. And then you can post the link and it will take you straight to her listing. And if the person wants to fill out this lead form, she will capture that as a lead. So I love those little standalone landing pages. I also use them if I was selling right now and holding an open house. I would put that lead contact information at the top above the listing and hand them my tablet at the open house and say, fill this out for my seller, please. And then feel free to look at the property information. That would have captured that person's information in my command instead of them writing it down on a piece of paper, which I then would have to enter into command myself. And then I can sanitize that tablet and pass it on to the next guest at my open house. So pretty cool. All right, so let's jump in and look at the app version of this. We have two apps from KW as an agent. We have the command app where we've been hanging out. The white background with the red KW is the consumer home search app. It looks very similar to our website because it's the same thing in a truncated size. I do recommend that you download this app. I do recommend that you have your own login as a consumer and that you come in and play around with the app so that if you get asked questions, you know how to answer the questions. You can change the view from default to satellite, which I love, so they can see their surroundings. You can again search by your location by hitting your little arrow. You can see the neighborhood boundaries. You can click into property. You get that little preview at the bottom here. You can favorite it. You can add it to your different collections that you have set up. You can leave notes for the agent there. And if you click into it again, it actually brings you into the listing where you can look through all the pictures, save it. Same thing as on the website. Keller Mortgage, Keller Covered, property description, property details, parking features, financial details. This is a little bit different than it is on the website. Market statistics, what locals are saying, still have the commute time capability there, nearby schools, upcoming open houses, and one difference between online and here is this payment calculator. So we do have that payment calculator option for them. They can turn it to mortgage or all cash and see an estimated mortgage breakdown. They can look at nearby homes. The source is the MLS. It's got our branded legal stuff at the bottom. And here, at least, my little images that I uploaded on my website show up a little bit better in phone version. That's why I like to keep them there. They can request a tour. And that is going to let us know that that happened too. Oopsies. I forgot to turn do not disturb on my phone. It's my electrician and friend. Going to come put my new lights up for me. All right. So there we go. Do I want it to be in person or a live video? Maybe I want it to be in person. And here we go. So then I will get a notification that they have requested to see that property in the morning, which is nice. Okay. So, I mean, the app really, you know, very much like the website. Like I said, I do recommend that you go in there. They have a more button at the bottom down there. Let me get out of here and go back. They have the feed still. So this is a different client than Bianca Buyer. This is Banana Buyer. But they have a different feed. So everything is fully customizable to them, which is nice. They still have the access to the guide. They can check off what they're doing as they go by clicking in, reading what we're doing, and clicking mark as complete. And then clicking next step. They'll be able to read everything about making an offer, which is really nice. And they'll get to see their progress over here on the left with the blue check marks. They can see what they have saved. And they can click on more to add that co-buyer. They can also do that from the website if they have somebody else who wants to be involved in the transaction. They can come into my account and change their password or change those places that they're getting navigation to. And they can see Keller Covered, Keller Mortgage, Keller Offers, which is our offer platform, kind of like an offer pad. If you guys are interested in Keller Offers, you do have to get certified to participate in Keller Offers. There are 2 classes that you have to attend. If you have more questions about that, let me know off camera and we will talk about it. The affordability calculator. So this is under more, and I do recommend that we show them this. So say their annual household income is 150,000 and their monthly debt is, I don't know, how much is people's monthly debt? 22,000 maybe. So 509. They can up and down their down payment, up and down their credit score. What kind of loan type are they doing? What's APR right now? Is it 7? I think. Property taxes, HOA fees, if there are any. And then they can view the breakdown. So I do like that little affordability calculator back there. They can share the app with their friends. And got legal notices. They can sign out, and recently added, they can now delete their account without asking you to delete it for them. So they can have that full capability to delete their account if they want. All right. So questions about any of that? Good. I think the last thing that we're going to talk about before we wind up early today and give some time back in people's schedule is that we're going to use our websites tomorrow in our discussions about designs and campaigns. So I showed you how to make that landing page for a specific listing. That's going to tie into using it with a design, and then we can go through and post it onto Facebook. But also, a great thing to post on Facebook, whether it's just a social post, which is free, or a paid social ad, is to use our websites to our benefits. We can go on here to our own website and say, okay, I want to make a post about 27104, which is Monica's preferred zip code, just because I've lived here for most of my life. So there's the zip code 27104. Okay. So as it stands, I could take this link, copy it, make a pretty picture and designs, post it on Facebook or Instagram or wherever and say, here's a list of homes for sale in 27104. Done. This link will take them to whatever's currently happening in 27104 when they click on it. If they have an account on your website, great. If they don't, and they try to look at properties, like I said, I have mine set to 2. After they try to look at more than 2, it's going to force them to register to continue to look at houses, which is a great way to capture leads for free because you just posted it to Facebook, right? You can get even more detailed. So maybe you're like, I really want to break into luxury. In Winston-Salem, the luxury threshold is $700,000. So maybe I do a minimum of $700,000 and click done. You will see my search change on the left. This is now luxury homes for sale in 27104. You can copy this, make your image, share it, or do a paid Facebook ad. Maybe I wanted to go a little bit more broad. I could search for Winston-Salem, North Carolina. That'll change my search a little bit to Winston-Salem homes for sale, Winston-Salem luxury homes for sale, because that's got the whole city limit, right? These are the luxury properties for sale in Winston-Salem. Something I love even more when it comes to luxury is clicking the more button, scrolling to the bottom, turning on price reduced in the last 7 days. Recently reduced luxury homes in Winston-Salem. There you go. They get to look at the amount of the price reduction, the interior photos, all the different things that went down 100 grand, 180, 100, a little under 10,000, $65,000. So they get to see those price reductions. And you could do this. It doesn't have to be for luxury. You could take out that. And now you're just looking at all recently price improved properties in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. So pretty cool. I just wanted to make sure to bring that to your attention because we will talk about it a little bit more tomorrow. And that is it. So any questions on any of this stuff? Good. Awesome. All right, great. Well, I hope to see you back here tomorrow. We will start at 10 and we will be looking at designs and campaigns in KW Command. I hope you have a wonderful day and we'll talk to you soon.